A minute, a minute, a minute, give me a minute. All right, so I'm ready.
All yours.
Yeah, that's my one. Sorry, my daughter's in the background, so I'm looking. So I should be just gonna keep interrupted. But yeah, I normally start off from the monthly, or I normally have a look at the 2 month as well. Sometimes just have a quick look and see what's happening. Normally just have an overall insight what's happening in the 2 months. Then I'll drop down to the 1 month, mark up my golden zone. My 78. Nobody tried different trade like. 1 minute, 1 minute. One minute. Give me a minute. And after marking up my monthly, I normally drop down to my 1 week, weekly chart. Yeah. Normally I start look for imbalance from my 1 weekly to see what if there's any imbalance nearby or underneath. As you can see, this imbalance, there's a tiny imbalance that was filled last week, which Todd was talking about earlier, which is right here. And I normally fib this as well, just to get the overall move as well. Which, as you can see, the 78 is right here. That's the overall up move for the 78. Normally, I don't really label it because I normally know what is what, so I don't really do any labeling. So I'll just delete that. Just to be let's change this to blue. This is normally blue. Imbalance. I will highlight these imbalances as well, even though it's still gonna be going up. And normally after highlighting all my imbalance that's nearby, like underneath or above, I normally drop down to the day. Just to have an insight what's happening. And then if I can't really see much, I normally keep dropping down time frames. I normally use the 8 hours sometimes, which comes in handy. And from here, I will fib this because obviously it came down to the 78 from the overall move. So I'm looking for a buy. Because my initial trading where I normally trade it, I normally wait for the 78 pullback. So as it came down to the 78 for the overall buy move, plus we had a lovely push up, I will fib this, expecting it to come back for the retrace, or at least for it to buy up to this point. Is everyone with me, or is that a bit lost? It's a bit quiet.
Yes.
I'm with you.
With you.
All right, cool.
I'm being.
We can jump down to the 4 hours just to see. It's a bit clearer. And as you can see, like I said, I normally trade down to the 78. I will sometimes take the 60, 61.8, but I normally try to be patient and wait for the 78, which can be hard sometimes, just about being patient.
That's battle tested, right? You battle
Yeah.
tested that. You know why you want the 78, because at 61, it gets you into trouble. And
And also,
then it goes down there and does a 78, and then you gotta wait for the 61 to correct itself, and then you might as well just wait for it.
And also my pet rule as well, the reason why I wait for the 78 as well, if it don't bounce off the 78, because normally if it don't bounce off the 78, that means it's literally gonna keep dropping or keep buying. So let's say I want the buy and it don't bounce off the 78, I know it's gonna keep dropping. Oh, it's just meowing, like how Kim used to say. I know it's gonna keep dropping through the lines. So just like this trade here, I got marked up. Whenever it comes down to this 78 next week and it don't bounce off it straight away, I'll probably leave it open for about 4 hours, see what happens. And if it just stays about this point or just over, I'll probably just take my profit or just close even. Because most likely, sometimes it'll just keep coming back down here to break this low, and then probably start to buy up.
No. Don't glaze over that. Can you repeat that, please? And can you repeat it? And can you mark it on your chart where you're saying what you need to see?
Okay, so what I'm saying, where's the arrows I don't really use? Okay, so what I expect next week, it's supposed to drop down to here. If it don't spring all the way, literally start buying straight away. 1 minute, Sapphire. If it don't start buying straight away, I'll probably leave it open for about 4 hours to see what it does. Because most likely, sometimes if you don't spring or start buying straight away, it'll probably come out here, go like that, and then probably start like that, and then probably start dropping beyond this point.
So he wants the momentum to take the trade straight away higher.
Straight away.
We need to go break that high. That's
with the 78.
From after it gets to 78, we need to go back up and break that high. If it doesn't break that high, that's generally a sign that it ain't gonna go well.
So this is what I normally look for when I take the 78 trade normally.
To
break that high, then pull back, then go on. Sorry.
Okay, so that was my question. So basically your entry is not the 78, but your entry would be then the retest.
No, my entry is the 78.
But how do you know?
No, that's what I'm saying. My entry is the 78, but if you don't spring straight away off the 78, I'll likely to close it more likely.
Oh, okay.
If it's just me arming around the 78, it's more likely to do this, probably do this and start dropping and probably take the low out or who knows, start dropping lower. But sometimes, go on.
So that means you would just get out, or would you actually let it hit your stop loss?
Oh no, I'll get out.
Okay.
I'll get out.
See,
I'll just get out.
That's the next level up, right? When you know now why you don't just let it go to the stop loss, because you see that the structure is not healthy in regards to your intention of your trade. You can see that early. A lot of us spend so much time on the charts and don't even know that this is happening. You have plenty of time to get out. You have plenty of time to get in.
Alfie, if anything, even though I get out, at this point, even though I don't get the spring up and I get out at this point, let's say it does go my way, I did think it was gonna go at first. You can always get in at the retest. That's how I trade. So instead of losing the money at your stop loss, because sometimes it could just come down here and take your stops. And with GU and EU, they love doing it and just start springing straight back up. So I'll just wait for this high to be broken and then wait for the retest. But I do like getting in on the 78. On the 78, you know, for me personally, I know that's how I've been trading. I know where it's gonna go. Like, because if I don't get that spring straight away, I know it's just not gonna go the way I plan to.
You can also wait for an internal break on the 1 hour to help confirm your buy, Elfie.
Yeah. I don't tend to drop down to the lower time frame unless I'm off work. Because I'm always at work, I normally try to trade off the 4 hour.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because it gives me more time to figure out where the trade is gonna go. But this is what I've got for GU. That's what I had marked up. So hopefully to come back down here Like I said, if it don't spring straight away off this, I'll probably just close it. Even though it comes down here and probably shoot up. When it breaks this high, I'll just enter on the retest because it always comes to retest. That sometimes it doesn't look like on a retest, but some news comes in and it comes all the way back down, shoots back up for a week in one candle.
One
So
candle.
normally, if it breaks this, I'll probably set my. If I'm at work, I normally set my buy sell my buy limit too. Because sometimes I'm not up to my phone, so sometimes I just set my buy limit. If it hits it, it hits it. You can't win every trade. You can't get into every trade. It's what it is.
Bro, your patience levels, they're top shelf.
Oh yeah. I've got my patient levels on lock, to be honest. That's what I've learned. Even though you jump in the trade quickly, sometimes it just pays the weight and
Yeah.
it just show it hands a lot easier, a lot better, to be honest. So 1 minute. But yeah, that's what I've got for GU. I try not to complicate it too much. That's why I just try to leave it as simple as I can. Or sometime what I'll do as well, I forgot to mention. Let me just delete some of this stuff. I will jump down to the 15 just to map the imbalance as well. But I don't trade off the 15. I'll just mark the imbalance just to give me an insight where it sits. Just in case there's some imbalance lower down that I missed.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can get the pullback, even like that can decide on my factor whether to close it or not. If there's a little, like as you can see, there's a little bit imbalance down here. So I've got my candles really small. See, there's a little bit imbalance down here, which is below the 78 on the 4 hour. So yeah. So sometimes you probably get that coming down to the as a week on the 15 minutes. Like I said, I just looking for the momentum just to spring up. If it goes below that, I was thinking I'll just close it. It's call it a day until it goes. Give me a more positive sign.
Beautiful.
But that's me. I try to keep it as simple as it is. I don't try to complicate it. Like I said, I just literally trade what Todd just gives out in the group and just.
Yeah.
And literally, it's changing my life. To be honest, I'm making a lot more money. I'm winning a lot more trades than I've ever win before. So, yeah.
By
Just
this
gotta be
time
patient for the
next year,
78.
let's say it's 2. Next year it's gonna be 4, then 8. However, we're gonna compound this. Ray Charles can tell you that it's not that difficult. Everybody here should be profitable. And if you're
Yeah,
around people who are profitable long enough, it has to rub off on you. It just does. Or how are you just around millionaires and then you just don't make $1 million? It just doesn't make sense. So I think this is very, very excellent work with this group. I can't even imagine what we're going to be looking like next year.
yeah. I think just all boiled down to discipline as well. And just
Hell yeah.
yeah,
And
because I lost.
understanding internal breaks.
Yeah, that as well. And I think candles as well. Candle helps as well. If you can read the candles, that definitely helps as well.
Yeah.
You shouldn't feel nervous, nothing, because it's going to zigzag. It's always going to give you a pullback. When I say always,
Yep.
it's just
And
a
it's always the
matter of how
78
long it takes. Yeah. How
or in
long does
between the
it take?
761.
Yeah. When you know that that's what's happening, there's no fear at that point. I don't care how volatile it gets. Like, there's no fear. You can get in and out of the market as you please. All you have to do is hit the button at the right time. There's no problem. And building on your equity. People are at the point, I think they're starting to see now, okay, I'm not supposed to really take profit, right? You're supposed to build profit on top of profit. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's starting to make sense now. See, oh, I'm not going to close this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to the next step. Right.
Yeah, give away them $400 to collect the $4,000. And then after you start doing that, then you give away the $4 grand to collect the 40 grand.
That's it.
Yeah, but Elfie, are you happy?
Yes,
really.
but I wonder what other pair you're gonna trade as well.
I normally is my pay for the next week is GA and GN. I normally trade GA, and GA is like my best friend. I love GA.
It is the best spread, huh?
Yeah, I like
Because GA gives a lot of pippage, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, I love it.
To me, GA and GN give a lot of pips.
Yeah.
GA too.
They're obscene pip counts.
I only trade GU if they're literally just about to change like this, like literally just about to change momentum from the opposite side, and I'll probably let it run. Just let it run, keep running, which I did at one point. But daily, I don't really trade GU, just GA. Yeah, but GA had me a bit not confused. Did trick me over the week last week though. Did have me. I did load up, and it's all right. Part of the game.
Marv, you say
I
you
got caught out.
you
Yeah, I got caught out right here. See when that break right here came back for the 70, 78. I started loading up. Started loading up. But when it start coming here on the 4 hours, I could see it's just wicking it. And I was thinking, you know what, that don't especially comes back to cover the imbalance as well. Right about what is it? And that's why I was thinking, you know what, let me change what's happening there because
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what people
and that's
need
when
to
I
see.
start selling it. So I sold it from
Look at that. That's fire, bro. That's fire.
and I keep adding positions. That was my first position here. Then when it broke that, I was like, yep. It was Friday, I think. I just started adding some nice position to make my loss up.
It's funny because GN did that exact same thing. But I remember I was selling it and I thought about it. I said, man, I bet Selena's not even selling this. So that's what I call it. But it's you have to pay attention to the changes. Like it had a lot of momentum and all of a sudden it just fizzled out. And like to me, it's kind of like if you've ever lived through a tornado, where the wind is blowing and all of a sudden everything gets real calm. That's not the time to relax,
Mm-hmm.
So
Look at how that started out up at the top. Go up to the top of the structure. Now see that L? That's what I mean, right? It creates the leg down and then it goes sideways. That's an L pattern. That is a bearish flag. That's what's developing right now. Again, at the bottom. You think it's accumulation, but nah. It's gonna fall off the cliff, man. And it starts to expand. Before it gets ready to make the move, it gets tight and then it starts to expand. That's what we're looking at right now. Starting to expand again. Mm-hmm. In the
But to be
narrative,
honest,
everything adds up.
I thought we was gonna get the pivot here. I was looking at GN, but I didn't enter in it. But when I saw that on the 4 hours start to buy up, thinking, maybe if we break this high right here, we might be buying up because at the beginning of the week he was selling pretty
Right.
much for the whole first 2 days, and I think that was Wednesday when he started buying. But
Yeah.
that was just to trick us out our position.
But when it decides to do it, it's gonna do it fast. It's gonna be an impulse move, go right in there and grab that and come right back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't enter it. But with GA gave me an impulse move on a smaller time frame. And I was like, yeah, you played me nicely. It's all right. Played me.
Yeah. Right.
he said it's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll catch you on the way down, which I did.
Beautiful.
Like I said, literally giving that impulse move on the 78 right here, and I started pushing up straight away. And if you go to the smaller time frame, it started pushing up straight away. But when he didn't break this, I was like, nah, that
That's
don't look
right.
right. Don't look
That's
right.
right.
So where was your
Look, the
entry
scale is
on
incoming.
GK for the sell? I'm sorry, Big Marv.
Say that again.
Where was your entry on that one when you started selling it?
It was right about here.
At
When
that
we
one?
broke this, yeah, when we broke this 1, 2, 3, 4, these candles here.
Mhm.
I think if you look on the 4 hours, it will probably give you a better picture.
Because I got
Because
caught up in that buy too.
yeah, because if you look at what made me what made me decide it's gonna sell. If you look at because I've got a rule as well. If it's got like 5 candle wicking in that areas like just before the high, it's most likely to sell. Because if you count, was there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th candle is starting to drop.
Mm.
So when you start
That'll
seeing this
test.
amount of wicks,
Hey Marv,
right?
if it wicked twice in that area for me, yeah,
You caught it, game over.
yeah, because like it's if you look at that setup, if you just look at it right now, like without the leg down, you see that big long the candle that created the imbalance that broke structure to the bottom. Now,
Yeah.
to me, the ICT funding model, or the trading model, is price needs to go right up into that imbalance and sell off. So if we go into that imbalance and reject, that's confirming that sell model. And I'm aware that the sell model is out there and that price is in that area. But if we blew through there, like if we reacted, like if it rejected the first time and the next time it pushed through it, it's cool.
Yeah.
But it rejected that first time, and then you got that second wick. Oh no, that's a wrap. I'm not getting. I'm taking profit. If whatever profit I have on that buy, I'm taking profit, and then I'm selling because I'm looking at it as that sell. Because that's the model. That's what you want.
Everybody
Yeah.
needs to know that. Once you understand that, I mean, there's layers to a lot of things, but when you can be in on the conversation and understand what was just said right here, then you're in the know. You know how to go back and forth. You know exactly what part of the structure that is when it comes to looking at the next step, the next step, the next step. The next step was for that to break the high. It broke down the first time, and then it broke down the second time. That's all you needed.
Yeah, it's ICT Mentorship 2022, video number 3. All we're doing is seeing that over and over.
Both directions.
Both directions, yeah.
Yeah, if you look on the 3 hour, it looks more clear. Like you don't get as much wicks.
You want the wicks.
I know,
The
but
the wicks are telling you that it's not breaking the high that it's supposed to go and break. Off that 78, it is supposed to go break that high. If it doesn't do that, it is now unhealthy.
Exactly.
I know what you mean. But on if you zoom in, big Marv, on the ICT 2022 model, he's looking at a lower time frame. He's looking at the 15-minute to the 1 minute, sometimes a 30-second. So he's
That's
looking
true, but it's the higher time frame that's going to give you the longer term move.
I know, but let me finish. But that's what I'm trying to say about the wicks. If you want to see it a bit cleaner, then the 3 hour just shows it without the wicks. But I do get what you're saying with the wicks, because the ICT model is, he demonstrates it on a lower time frame.
Yeah,
you don't get that much wicks like you do on a higher time frame. You can always flick through the time frames to see which just have a cleaner setup if you can't see it. That's what I'm saying.
it's about 24 hours worth of candles.
Because you've got the sell down, and then it created a bullish order block to sell back up into the imbalance, and then
I mean, that's a beautiful pattern.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. It just So I went for 78 and just bounced straight. Hopefully beat that as well, then come back down to test. Then that didn't happen. And that's why I was like, yeah, sorry, not gonna happen today.
Yeah.
That was is that the start of last week? At the end
No,
of
that
In the middle of
last
Thursdays,
week,
yeah.
the end of last week for the pullback on the weekly candle, isn't it? Last week.
It was in the middle of the week. I
Yeah, that
think
was
I got
Thursday
to
I
that
got
on
in.
Thursday, right?
That's London time, by the way. So I got in about, yeah, Thursday. But I got in on the buy, yeah, also Thursday in the morning as well, just before London session. I think it was beginning of London session. That's when it wicked down here and started buying up.
Yeah.
I didn't even break the high, so I was like, no.
Daddy, my mom keeps calling me.
No, no one's calling me.
Yeah.
1 minute.
All right, thank you, Marv.
No worries. How do I stop sharing?
Yeah, that was awesome, man. These are the types of
Yeah,
conversations that these have to be the conversations. It can't be outside of that, because if you're doing anything outside of that, you're probably going to get yourself in trouble. So keeping
just keep it
people on
simple,
track,
people.
right? Keeping it simple, understanding what healthy price action looks like, knowing when and when not to do things. And you start having fun with it. It's not a stressor. Like Florida. Kentucky is giving Florida a lot of stress right now. It's 23-0.
They blanking Florida.
Woo, Florida should be ashamed of themselves. It's the second quarter, I think. No, I don't know, but it should be a tale of two halves. Florida's got to put some points on the board. But if they lose, I wouldn't be surprised. Kentucky's got a squad. But Oregon about to put the smackdown on Stanford. And Dion is going to suffer his woes. They better score 50. If they don't, it's a done deal.
That's what USC better score. Better score.
Oh, can you stop recording, please?
Huh? You don't want, oh, we can't disrespect Dion.